Imagine this. You wake up to find the compass in your phone suddenly spins wildly. Your GPS is useless. Radio stations are silent. Planes are grounded. The sky starts to glow in ways you've never seen before. But what if I told you this could happen? Tomorrow, Earth's magnetic field, the invisible shield that protects us from solar storms, could suddenly flip. And the consequences, they could change everything. Welcome to a mind-bending journey into the magnetic flip, and what it means for our world. What is Earth's magnetic field and why is it important? Earth's magnetic field is one of the most vital things you never think about. It's an invisible force generated by the movement of molten iron and nickel at Earth's core. This magnetic field acts like a shield. It's protecting us from the solar wind, a stream of charged particles from the sun. Without it, the radiation from solar flares would fry our technology, disrupt communications, and even increase cancer risks. Without the magnetic field, solar storms would wreak havoc. Earth would essentially be left exposed to the universe's most dangerous forces. But the field doesn't last forever. A flipping phenomenon. What does it mean when the field flips? The magnetic field is not permanent. Every several 100,000 years, Earth's magnetic field flips. This means that the North and South poles switch places. The poles do not flip all at once, but gradually over thousands of years. So why should we care? Because right now the magnetic field is weakening. The South Atlantic anomaly, a region over the Atlantic Ocean, is one of the weakest spots on Earth's magnetic field, and satellites passing through this area often experience failure. But what would happen if the field flipped completely and we were caught in the middle? The immediate consequences. What happens in the first few hours? Let's dive into the real-world consequences. If Earth's magnetic field flipped, here's what would happen within the first few hours. Communication breakdown. GPS systems worldwide would fail. Radio signals would become disrupted, making navigation difficult. Satellites that depend on magnetic orientation would lose their bearings, potentially crashing. Solar storm exposure. The most immediate and visible effect would be the intense exposure to solar radiation. Solar storms would breach the weakened magnetic field, causing harmful radiation to pour into the atmosphere. This would expose astronauts, pilots, and those at higher altitudes to much higher radiation levels. Not only would this affect technology, but human health could be compromised as well. Power grids fail. Power lines would pick up surges of current from the solar storms. This could short-circuit power grids worldwide, causing massive blackouts. Imagine cities without electricity for weeks, and technology that runs on electrical grids would grind to a halt. The long-term effects. What happens to our planet? While the first few hours would cause chaos, the long-term effects of a flipped magnetic field would be even more dangerous. Increased solar radiation. Without protection from the magnetic field, Earth would experience higher levels of solar radiation. This radiation could disrupt communication signals, damage satellites, and significantly increase the risk of cancer for those living near high latitudes or flying at high altitudes. We don't know exactly what would happen, but climate patterns could shift dramatically. Radiation could break down the ozone layer, leading to higher UV radiation reaching Earth's surface, causing skin damage and impacting agriculture, animal navigation. Animals that rely on the magnetic field for migration, such as birds, turtles, and even whales, would lose their ability to navigate. Ecosystems could collapse as migratory patterns are disrupted. Have magnetic field reversals happened before? Or it's not just theoretical. Earth has experienced magnetic field reversals in the past. Around 780,000 years ago, the magnetic field flipped. While the effects of that flip on Earth's life forms are still debated, it's clear that civilizations weren't around to feel the impact. Evidence of past field flips comes from paleomagnetic data gathered from volcanic rocks and sediment cores. These rocks record the orientation of the magnetic field at the time of their formation. Scientists have found evidence of past flips in ice cores and sediment layers, showing that the flips occur in cycles. Is a magnetic flip imminent? Here's the most disturbing part. Earth's magnetic field is weakening, and some scientists believe we are now entering another reversal phase. The South Atlantic anomaly is a warning sign, clear indication that Earth's magnetic field may be in the early stages of flipping. The last reversal took place about 780,000 years ago. But scientists believe we are long overdue for the next flip. However, There's no way to predict exactly when it will happen. It could be hundreds of years or even thousands. But what happens if it flips sooner than expected? Can we prepare for the flip? While scientists are actively monitoring the magnetic field and collecting data from satellites and ground stations, there is still a lot we don't know.
And the good news is that we are starting to prepare for these potential events.
Backup power grids and satellite protection are already being developed. Space agencies are designing spacecraft that can withstand radiation from solar storms. Technologists are creating new systems to help mitigate power grid failures. However, we're still not fully prepared for what could happen if the field flips suddenly and we lose the protection we've relied on for billions of years. Final thought: are we ready for the flip? The magnetic field is an invisible protector we take for granted every day. It shields us from solar radiation, protects our communication systems, and allows life to thrive. But what if that shield flipped? What would happen to our technology, health, and ecosystems? The truth is, we don't know. But we need to be ready, because the next flip might be closer than we think. This is Mine at Truth.